Welcome to Medicare 360. I'm Jennifer Alfonso Lee, and today we're talking about two of the most important retirement programs in America, and that is Medicare and Social Security. What's fascinating is that many people assume that these programs are connected, and in some ways, they are very connected. But in many ways, they are completely separate. So every year I meet people who believe I have to start Social Security to get Medicare. If I delay Social Security, I can't get Medicare. And once I start Medicare, I must retire. Social Security automatically handles everything. And unfortunately, those misunderstandings can become costly. So today's show is called How Medicare and Social Security Work Together, Timing, Benefits, and Common Misunderstandings. By the end of this show, you'll understand when Medicare starts, when Social Security starts, how they're connected, how they're different, spousal benefits, survivor benefits, IRMAA, working after retirement, and real life planning strategies. So let's begin. So, the biggest misunderstanding, one of the biggest myths I hear is I'm not taking Social Security yet, so I don't need Medicare. Not true, right? Medicare eligibility and Social Security benefits are separate decisions. Okay, so Medicare eligibility, most Americans become eligible for Medicare at age 65. Okay, so Social Security benefits, many people can start Social Security as early as age 62. So other delays until full retirement age 70. So these decisions are really independent from each other, right? Really, Medicare is based on health coverage, and Social Security is a little bit different because, hey, are you able to retire at that benefit that Social Security is going to give you? So let's go over a real life case study. A gentleman delayed Social Security until age 70. He thought Medicare would begin then too. Wrong. He should have addressed Medicare at 65. This misunderstanding created unnecessary stress. I mean, I don't know why I make it so complicated, right? But the teaching point here is you can have Medicare without Social Security, Social Security without Medicare, or both together. So each decision deserves separate analysis, okay? I've also seen where someone's like 71, 72, and they're not getting their Social Security. Please, 70 is the max age for Social Security, and that actually might change later on in the future. So I definitely suggest to get that at that time, especially if you earned it, you've been paying into Social Security. Why aren't you getting it, right? So keep that in mind. So let's discuss the Medicare timing first. Most people become eligible at age 65. Okay, most, right? Not all, but most. So the initial enrollment period, okay, so you generally receive 3 months before your birthday month, 3 months after your birthday month for a 6 month enrollment window. So let's take an example. Let's just say you were born in June. So you have 3 months before June to apply for Medicare. So what would that be? March, April. Okay. So March 1st is the first day you could apply for a June 1st effective date. Let's just say you were born June 19th. Okay. So this allows Social Security to run all the verifications and process your plan, your Medicare. Okay, remember, if you're already having Social Security, it is automatic. Okay, so you don't have to do anything. Okay, best place to apply is online. I think it's the easiest. Sometimes they will ask for some verifications like your birth certificate, original. You have to mail it in with translation if needed, but they will send it back. Okay. So you also have the 3 months after your birthday. So let's just say you're born June 19th. So you have July, August, September, end of September, right, to get a October 1st effective date. Or let's just say you apply July, you would get it in August. If you applied in August, you would get it in September. Okay. So the important lesson here is Medicare doesn't care whether you're retired, you're collecting Social Security, you plan to work forever, right? The age 65 milestone still matters. Okay, so let's just say you are already taking Social Security, and they do automatically get your Medicare, send your Medicare card like 3 months before. Technically, right, and a lot of people don't know this, is that you could technically give it back. You don't want it, right? And what would be the reasons that you don't want it? If you have credible coverage, more than 20 employees, doesn't matter if it's your plan or your spouse's plan, you are covered. Okay, like basically you don't necessarily have to get onto Medicare. But of course that's a plan comparison, right? Is the Medicare plan or Medicare better than the group coverage plan, right? And that is going to be your premium, deductibles, copays, coinsurance, the benefits in those plans, the drugs, the max out of pocket. And that is something we do help you with, just to run a comparison to make you feel good and have that peace of mind. Okay. So let's go over a real life case study. A business owner continued working full time. He assumed retirement planning could wait, right? Which people are living longer, so they want to work more. They want to keep their brain fresh, their mind fresh, and just have something to do, right? Or it's just the money you would get, the pension, the 401k is just not quite enough, so you have to work a little bit more. Okay, so he later learned Medicare decisions still needed to be addressed. Okay, so turning 65 creates Medicare decisions, even if retirement is years away. Okay. So yeah, definitely, like if you're that business owner, I do have business owner clients that have had 20 or less employees, and the thing they have to do is get on Medicare, right? Because it's not credible. So just definitely keep that in mind. Okay. So let's talk about Social Security when that happens. So this is one of the biggest financial decisions retirees make. It definitely is, right? The earliest eligibility for many people, benefits are reduced at age 62. Okay, 62. Full retirement age depends on birth year. So for many current retirees, around age 67. Okay. So the minimum, what was I going to say? So actually the maximum delayed retirement credits stop accumulating is at age 70. Okay, so many people receive their highest monthly benefit at age 70. So when I see a senior at 72, 71, or past 70 that hasn't applied for their Social Security, it just irks me because they should be getting it. Okay. So the full retirement age is, depends on your birth year, but for many current retirees, it is the 67. Okay. So imagine a person A starts at 62, person B waits until 70. There definitely is a substantial difference between the two. So Social Security timing is one of the few retirement decisions that can be permanently impacted because of your monthly income, right? So definitely keep that in mind. So what I did want to discuss before we move forward is the Social Security retirement benefit that What is the increase per year if you wait? Okay, so I wanted to touch on this because no one really talks about it. So it depends on your full retirement age. But for most people currently approaching retirement, the full retirement age is 67. Okay. So here's the general rule. If you start at age 62, your benefit is permanently reduced. So for someone with a full retirement age of 67, if they claim at 62, that would be 70% of the full benefit. At age 63 would be 75% of the full benefit. 64, 80% of the full benefit. 65, 86.7. 66, 93.3. And 67, full retirement age is 100%. Okay. So more or less like five percentage points, right? So is that worth it for you, right? My rule of thumb is like, do you think you will do better in the market every single year till you hit 67? Okay. And then keep in mind, after full retirement age, right? That's at age 67, your delayed retirement credits, your earnings increases 8% per year. Okay. About 2/3 or 1% per month until age 70. Okay. So age 67, you'll get that full 100%. Age 68, you'll get that 108%. And age 69, you'll get that 116%. And age 70 is 124%. Okay, so definitely it's something to really think about. With if you want to, keep it at full retirement age, will you have a better return of 8% in the market if you delay? Okay, so yeah, that's one of the biggest things, and no one really talks about it as much. So I really wanted to go over that, right? I would say that's a really big thing. Okay, so what are we on? So automatic Medicare enrollment. This is where two programs begin interacting. So, if you are already receiving Social Security, many individuals are automatically enrolled in Medicare Part A, Medicare Part B. Their Medicare typically arrives before age 65. Okay. If you're not receiving Social Security, you often need to actively enroll. Okay. So, here's a comparison of a real life case study on two neighbors turning 65. So one neighbor receives Social Security, one delays it. Okay. So one gets a Medicare card automatically, the other must enroll. Okay. Same birthday, different outcomes. Okay. So yeah, because hey, you already receiving Social Security, you're automatically going to get it. And then the person that doesn't want Social Security, then, they get their card automatic. They don't get it, right? You have to apply online. Okay. So the lesson is never assume your experience will match someone else's. Okay. So how Medicare premiums are paid. So many people ask, how do Medicare premiums get paid? If you're receiving Social Security, Part B premiums are often deducted directly from Social Security checks. This creates convenience, right? Many retirees never write a check. So they automatically deduct it. If you're not receiving Social Security, you generally pay Medicare directly. Okay. You could pay by calling Medicare, by doing auto deductions. You could pay by check. I highly encourage to do auto deductions because if you're out of town, on vacation, living the best life, right? Retired, you're not going to remember sometimes. I have clients that sometimes never open their mail, right? Because they're just having so much fun. So please, I would really suggest auto deduction. Plus, what if you're in the hospital for months, right? Things like that. Please do that. Okay, so real life case study, retired delayed Social Security. She expected Medicare premiums to be deducted automatically. Instead, she received bills from Medicare. And so, yes, I had a client on vacation. She didn't pay it for a month. She didn't open her mail. She got Medicare canceled. So she did, fortunately, got it reinstated, but she had to pay all of it, right? And it was just a hassle calling in and so forth. So the lesson is understand how payments occur to avoid missed premiums. So let's go over IRMAA. It's a surprise many retirees don't expect. Let's discuss one of the most misunderstood Medicare topics, IRMAA. So income related monthly adjustment amount. So what is IRMAA? So IRMAA is higher income retirees may pay more for Part B, which is medical, and Part D, which is drugs, based on prior tax returns. Okay, so real life case study, a client sold investment property, income spiked. 2 years later, Medicare premiums increased significantly. The client thought Medicare had made a mistake. Instead, Medicare was using tax information from prior years. Income can affect Medicare costs. Okay, let's deep dive in this a little bit. So, for the year 2026, Medicare Social Security is looking at your 2024 adjusted gross income. Okay. File jointly, file separately. There's income thresholds. If you hit the income threshold, you will either go above or beyond that tier, and you will pay a premium, like a surcharge extra from the 202.90 that is standard. Okay, so let's just say you had a really great stock year. Unfortunately, you will have to eat up that cost, right? You definitely could file an appeal, but, right? I don't ever see it getting approved. I've only seen it twice in where a person became a widow, sold their home, right? So things like that I've seen that gets approved, but hey, it's worth a shot if you could save some money and just kind of really go over the reasons why you can't afford it and so forth. Okay, so keep that in mind. I had one client where we had called, sent the information. She had sold her home, moved to another state. And basically, Medicare, Social Security was like, no, we're not going to waive the IRMAA. And we kind of begged and said, you know what, she became a widow. And they're like, oh, you became a widow. Okay, yes, we'll do it for you. So case by case, state your case, see that way. Okay. So let's go over spousal benefits and survivor benefits. Many couples assume everything is based on my own work record. So that's not always. Spousal benefits, a spouse may qualify for benefits based on the other spouse's earnings history. So, survivor benefits, after a spouse passes away, survivor benefits may become available. These decisions could have significant financial implications. So, teaching point, couples should evaluate retirement decisions together, right? Biggest thing for that. And going over discussing this with a financial advisor is definitely good. So, working while receiving benefits. Many retirees continue working, and this raises a question. Like the common questions are, what can I collect Social Security, work part-time, work full-time, keep Medicare? Often the answer is yes, but earning and benefit rules do matter. Lesson, so retirement no longer looks the same for everyone. Many people blend work, retirement, and Medicare for many years, right? Just a lot, lot going on there. Okay, so let's go over, commoner questions. Well, can I take Medicare and delay Social Security? Can I collect Social Security while working? Does Medicare affect my Social Security amount? Does Social Security determine my Medicare eligibility? Can my spouse qualify for benefits based on my record? So quick myth busting round. I must retire at 65. Definitely false. Medicare and Social Security start together. Not necessarily, remember. Everyone is automatically enrolled. Not always. Income doesn't affect Medicare. it can definitely affect Medicare through IRMAA. So definitely those are the things that I do see. Numbers really matter at this case. So, like the example that I wanted to go back to is like, let's just say your full retirement age at age 67 is 3,000. So, if you claimed at 62, that's like a negative 2,100. So, and at age 70, you make $3,720. Okay, so you'd get 1,620 per month more at age 70 than age 62. That is 19,440 per year and more. So potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars over retirement, especially for someone who lives into their 80s or 90s. So really, it's going to depend on the cost. What is it? The cost, the breaking point, right? Like, really, when do you think you're going to pass away? Are you going to like, what's your genes, what is your family history, and so forth. Just remember, there's no best age for everyone. The decisions depend on the health, family longevity, employment, marital status, other retirement assets, survivor benefit planning. For married couples, especially delaying the higher earners, Social Security benefits can significantly increase a survivor's spouse's future income. So these are one of the most overlooked retirement planning strategies that you definitely need to look at. There are such a lot of moving parts, but we could definitely help you on that. Okay. So if you do remember one thing from today's show, let it be this. Medicare and Social Security are related, but they are not the same thing. Okay, like each program has different eligibility rules, different timelines, different financial impacts. So the best retirement decisions happen when people understand both systems, not just one. Because retirement isn't about simply reaching age 65. It's about making informed decisions that affect healthcare, income, family planning, financial security. So like yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? So here at Premier 360, we help you deep dive in both aspects, right? As a fiduciary, I have an obligation to clients to always look at your best interest in heart, to make sure that you're aware of all the pros and cons of everything that you do as well. So thank you for spending this time with me. I'm Jennifer Alfonso Lee. This has been Medicare 360, and join us next week while we pull back the curtains on claims, billings, evidence of benefits, Medicare summary notices, prior authorizations, appeals, and the healthcare system most people never see. So that's the hidden side of healthcare, what happens after you leave the doctor's office. So until then, stay informed, stay prepared, and remember, clarity always comes before coverage. You have a wonderful day.